What's up, everybody? Richard Janvrin here from WSN.com, and today we are taking a look at 3 of the best player props to make for Week 10 Monday Night Football of the NFL season. And this game here, we got a divisional matchup between the Washington Commanders. They're traveling to take on the 8-0 Eagles. And can the Commanders upset them? No, they won't. But here, we're going to look at some player props that you can potentially bet on, including one from the Commanders. Okay, so we're going to give them a little bit of... actually, there's 2 from the Commanders, my apologies. So we're going to give them a little bit of potential credit here. But, yeah, we're going to run through these 3 here. These are all available at different sports books, which we'll have links to that down in the description below. If you want to head on over there, sign up for an account, and get those great bonuses and free bets and all that kind of stuff. But let's dive into it. Starting with the Washington Commanders running back, Brian Robinson Jr. Now, Brian Robinson Jr., you know, he's a great story. I mean, right? I mean, before the season, he was actually shot multiple times, and now he's making a comeback, which is awesome to see. And this week, he faces an Eagles defense, which we all know is good, but to me, this Eagles defense is kind of a lot like the Buffalo Bills from last year in terms of they don't really care if you run on them because their secondary is so good. And in fact, the Eagles have allowed 121 rushing yards per game this year, 5.2 yards per carry per game, and 5.4 yards per carry over their last 3 games, including 130 plus allowed to Dameon Pierce and the Texans last week. You know, Brian Robinson Jr. hasn't really been getting that many carries. He's been out carrying Antonio Gibson still. You know, he only had 8 carries and 13 carries over his last 2 games, so 21 total carries over his last 2. But prior to that, he had 17 in Week 6 and 20 in Week 7. I think the key for the Commanders here, if they want to win this game, is that they're going to have to run the ball successfully and control the clock. Other than that, we could see a situation very similar to the Eagles and Texans, where the Texans kind of keep it close for the Eagles just automatically just pull away and just demolish them. So that's kind of what I feel like is going to happen here. I feel like we could see a Brian Robinson Jr. touchdown within the first quarter or first half, until the Eagles eventually just kind of pull away. You got to remember, too, the Eagles are coming off of sort of a mini bye week, last playing on Thursday Night Football. So, you know, they're going to be fresh and ready to go. But, yeah, I think that if anybody on this team has a good chance at scoring a touchdown, it's Brian Robinson Jr., and you're getting him at plus 220 over at Caesars. Next up, let's look at the Philadelphia Eagles. We're going to turn our attention to A.J. Brown getting for an anytime touchdown at plus 110 over at DraftKings. Now, getting a plus price with A.J. Brown is always a great time because this guy has 5 touchdowns over his last 3 games, including 3 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Doesn't really have that many targets. I mean, he still has, you know, they're respectable, right? He has 23 over his last 3 games. But he also has, in one of those games against when he was playing the Steelers, a 19.1 average depth of target, so he's getting targeted downfield, and on the season, he's at 11.8 for an average depth of target. So, like I said, getting targeted down the field, which is great against these Commanders cornerbacks and Benjamin St-Juste and Kendall Fuller. Both of these guys aren't very good this year. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, Kendall Fuller allows over 16 yards per catch, and St-Juste is at 15.6. And also St-Juste, who profiles as kind of like the primary coverage guy on that side of the field with A.J. Brown kind of lining up on the left side. But he'll face both of them. But when he faces St-Juste has allowed 390 yards this season. 117 of those have come after the catch. And A.J. Brown does well after the catch. 284 of his 718 yards have come after the catch, and that ranks 7th in the league amongst all wide receivers with at least 50 targets. And yeah, we're getting a plus price here at plus 110, so we're going to keep riding that A.J. Brown hot streak and this awesome matchup at home. And lastly, we're going to go back to the Commanders here, and we're going to look at quarterback Taylor Heinicke. Now, he's at plus 195 over at Caesars to go under a half of a passing touchdown. So we're going to take that bet. We're going to bet that he does not even throw a touchdown in this game. There's a lot of things kind of going in his favor. So, you know, obviously that's why we're kind of getting this plus price here. You know, you have garbage time, which, you know, we expect the Eagles to be ahead, so garbage time touchdowns can always happen. And also the Commanders throw on 64% of their offensive snaps. He's averaging 30 attempts per game, but he's only completing 63% of his passes. I mean, not terrible, but, you know, it's not great. But he also has 9 turnover-worthy plays on 92 attempts. That is an 8.2% rate, which is the highest amongst all quarterbacks in the NFL with at least 100 dropbacks. This is problematic against the Eagles because let's just run through here. I got a list of these stats here. These are it doesn't pose well for Mr. Heinicke here. The Eagles have 32 forced incompletions, 25 pass breakups, 12 interceptions, 10 touchdowns, and they have Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, who leads the league in interceptions. I think what's going to happen here is we're going to have the Commanders trying to kind of grind away at that time of possession, win the time of possession battle. The Eagles will score, and then we could see Heinicke and the Commanders try to throw, but I don't know what kind of success they're going to have. They do have McLaurin. They do have Curtis Samuel. Jahan Dotson might be back, but you got Darius Slay, you got Avonte Maddox, you got James Bradbury. With their ability to turn the ball over, I mean, obviously, again, it could happen. It's garbage time. And again, this is plus 195, so obviously Caesars thinks that he's going to go above that. But there's a lot of things pointing here that make this a very good value play. Maybe I wouldn't put like a full unit on this one, but maybe you sprinkle a half a unit or so. I think that there's a really good chance that Heinicke just has a terrible game. So, yeah, there you guys have it. That does it for the 3 player props that we're going to recommend for this week. We'll run through them again. Brian Robinson Jr., anytime touchdown, plus 220 over at Caesars. A.J. Brown, anytime touchdown, plus 110 over at DraftKings. And Taylor Heinicke, under half of a passing touchdown, plus 195 at Caesars. And that does it for this week's video. I'll be back for Thursday Night Football, giving you some best player props there. But once again, all of our links are down in the description below to go to all these sports books, sign up, and get some bonuses. And then also make sure you like the video, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you're notified when we release new videos here on the channel. And comment down below. Tell me what you think of these picks. I'm very curious, and also come back and let me know if any of these hit for you. That'd be sweet. So with that, everybody, this is Richard Janvrin. This is WSN.com's YouTube channel, and I'll see you next time. Peace.